Hello, everyone. This is another Black Conservative. I am Ryan Bolin. Thank you all for joining me. What I want to talk about in this video is a comment that one of my favorite action directors, James Cameron, said in reference to his latest movie, which is actually a sequel called Avatar: The Way of the Water. I believe that's what Avatar: The Way of the Water. And it's a sequel to his other major money-making hit, Avatar. Now, when the first Avatar came out, everybody was telling me, but you need to go see it. Look, I didn't want to see the first Avatar. I didn't see this Avatar. And it's not because I think it's woke or any of that. It wasn't that I thought the first Avatar was woke, because I wasn't even into wokey woke. I wasn't even into any of that back then. So I just was not interested in any of these kind of movies. So that's why I didn't go see them. I didn't see the first one. Don't want to see the first one. Don't want to see this one. Has nothing to do with the special effects. Has nothing to do with the plot or any of that. Just not my interest. I like horror movies and action and stuff. That's what I like. Okay. Anyway, having said that, what I want to talk about in this video is a comment that director James Cameron said in reference to his newest movie. And this is in reference to a scene or two that he put in the film that he stated in an interview that is paying homage or giving a nod to feminism. And in the movie, there's supposedly a scene where one of the aliens is 6 months pregnant, a female alien, 6 months pregnant, riding along the male aliens in battle. And that he basically said in the interview that this is a nod or is paying homage to feminism. Now, I'm going to read just a portion of this article, and then we're going to get into my commentary on this, because this stuff is getting out of hand. It's like you can't escape this woke, divisive ideology and worldview. You can't escape it. You can't go to the movies and just have a good time anymore, man. You got to get into all of this pushing these ideologies and these worldviews. It's ridiculous. But let's get right into this. And the article says, James Cameron, Avatar: The Way of the Water, pushed feminist boundaries to the max by featuring a very pregnant alien woman riding into battle alongside the men, an image the director touted as a sign of, quote, female empowerment. How that's female empowerment, I don't know, but this is James Cameron's explanation. And I love James Cameron's movies, but this is his explanation. He says, speaking with Robert Rodriguez in a recent Director of Directors series for Variety, Cameron said he wanted to have, quote, a 6 months pregnant woman in battle as a big nod to feminism. And this is what he says. He says, everybody's always talking about female empowerment, Cameron said. But what is such a big part of a woman's life that we as men don't experience? And I thought, well, if you're really going to go all the way down the rabbit hole of female empowerment, let's have a female warrior who is 6 months pregnant in battle. It doesn't happen in our society. Probably hasn't happened for hundreds of years. But I guarantee you, back in the day, women had to fight for survival and protect their children. And it didn't matter if they were pregnant, he added. I just want to say something about this comment here. Hone in on this, where he says, but what is such a big part of a woman's life that we as men don't experience? And when I first read that and was analyzing this article and analyzing what he said, I asked myself, first of all, as a male, why do I have to experience what women experience? He says, but what is such a big part of a woman's life that we as men don't experience? Okay, we don't experience pregnancy, but why is that important to me? Why is that important? Why do I need to experience that? Do men need to experience what women go through when they're pregnant? Is that important? Highly, I doubt that very seriously. That it's important that men need to experience what women go through. They need to understand that when a woman is pregnant, certain chemical imbalances take place and so forth, and she feels a certain way, and she's more delicate, she's more sensitive. She can't move about as she likes to or wants to, and the man should be understanding of that. He should be more understanding of that. But far as experiencing it, what like we as men don't experience, and I thought, well, if you're really going to go all the way down the rabbit hole of female empowerment, let's have a female warrior who's 6 months pregnant in battle. That makes no sense whatsoever. How are you showing female empowerment by having a female 6 months pregnant in your film going to battle? How is that female empowerment? Could that be interpreted as endangering females? How would it look if the American military started, and as woke as they are now, they probably might just do that. But how would it look if our American military started doing a draft pick and they started saying, okay, all you women out there that really want to go to battle with us, hey, open season, I don't care what months, if you're 6 months pregnant, come on in. What if the American military started drafting 6-month pregnant women? Would that be okay? I'm just saying it may be going down the rabbit hole of female empowerment, like James Cameron said in his statement, but you get my point. Okay, is that really empowering women by saying you 6 months pregnant, you can go to battle, go on to battle. You 6 months pregnant, no big deal. That's power. That's power. That's strength. Let's go on because I'm going to give more of the meat of my commentary later on. But he says, there's a statement, he says, but I guarantee you back in the day, women had to fight for survival and protect their children. And it didn't matter if they were pregnant. It didn't matter if they're pregnant. Okay, in that statement right there, he has a point right there. But there's another thing that we have to take in consideration because he made the statement of hundreds of years ago. Let's take this back several thousand years ago in ancient times. Those women that were pregnant, depending on what region and what native land, some of them women were warriors. Some of them were trained in being a warrior. So even if they were pregnant, they were trained to be warriors. Women today in America are not trained to be warriors. So if you're 6 months pregnant, it probably wouldn't be a good idea for you to go out there and battle. Just saying. Article goes on to say, Cameron further asserts, quote, pregnant women are more capable of being a lot more athletic than we as a culture acknowledge. This is what he's saying. He goes on to say, it should be noted that the battle scene wherein the pregnant character Ronald, Kate Winslet, fights alongside the male warriors did not actually have the kind of dire existential stakes that Cameron characterized. Now here, this is the writer of the article saying this. Let me reread this. It should be noted that the battle scene wherein the pregnant character fights alongside the male warriors did not actually have the kind of dire existential existence stakes that Cameron characterized. The battle occurs in retaliation to humans killing a beloved whale, not a direct attack on the native village, in which case the fight would strictly be about survival. See Emily Blunt in A Quiet Place as a realistic, woke-free, non-cartoonist example of this. And like I said, I didn't see the movie. Obviously, the writer of this article saw the movie. I didn't see the movie, but he seems to be making a valid point. That if you just riding on some kind of if you just riding on something, you just it says the battle occurs in retaliation to humans killing the beloved whale, not a direct attack on the native village, then it's not really, no one is actually coming against this pregnant female and her village, where she has to rise up with a sword or whatever and fight. That didn't happen. I saw A Quiet Place. Quiet Place was excellent. And the way they showed that woman fighting, from what I can remember, it was done in a realistic way. Okay, so let's go on. In the same interview, Cameron compared the pregnant woman warrior with the likes of Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel. I thought, let's take the real boundaries off, he said, which is foolish. Why take the boundaries off? The boundaries are there for a reason. But let's go on. To me, it was the last bastion that you don't see. Wonder Woman and Captain Marvel, all these other amazing women come up, but they're not moms and they're not pregnant while they're fighting evil. And actress Kate Winslet also told Entertainment Weekly in an interview last week, she thought it was, quote, just so cool for her character to be pregnant while fighting. So, and she had some words to say. I'm not going to read her words here. This is just ridiculous. You guys can read the rest of that if you want in your own free time. But I just want to make a comment on something that James Cameron said in reference to going down the rabbit hole and this push to try to show empowerment for women. Here's my question. Why compete with men? There is nothing wrong with being a woman. There is nothing wrong with being feminine. There is nothing wrong with being a lady. Why compete with men? Now, on the strictly going back to the radical feminist ideology, once again, the radical feminist ideology is not about equal rights for women. The radical feminist ideology and worldview is about the destruction of the patriarchal head, the male, and the replacement of the patriarchal head, the male, with the matriarchal head, the female. If radical feminists would have their way, they would completely eradicate men off the face of the earth. Radical feminists don't like men except when it's time to go to bed with them. Okay? When they want to have engaged in sexual intercourse with them, they all on for the man. You just a tool to them. Okay? But other than that, eradicate him. It's not about equal rights for women with radical feminism, because they believe that men are created social constructs such as marriage and other parameters and boundaries that are designed to oppress women and keep women from reaching their full potential. This is what radical feminists actually believe in. Okay, so their objective, which is actually a communist concept, is to completely eradicate men off the face of the earth, whether physically or socially or mentally or spiritually, however way they want to eradicate the man. Okay. But here's the thing. Let's get past the radical feminist thing. Because women who embrace the radical feminist worldview don't understand how blessed they actually are. As a female, be proud and thankful that you're a female. You don't have to compete with men. Let me say this. As a preacher and as a Christian, yes, I believe in God. God designed men and women different for a reason. And let me point something out about how important women are. Okay? And I'm not talking about feminism nonsense. I'm talking about from a biblical, from the mindset of God. When God created Adam, the Bible says in the book of Genesis that Adam saw all the other animals with their companions. I'm paraphrasing it. He saw all the other animals, and all the other animals had their companions. The gorilla had his female gorilla. The monkey had his female monkey. The giraffe had his female giraffe. All the other animals had their companions, but Adam did not have a companion suitable for him. He was all alone. God saw this and created the female as a companion suitable for him, which means basically that God created the female because the man needs the female. That's why men shouldn't be going around talking about, I don't need no woman. I don't need no woman. God created the woman for you, bro. You need a woman. You need her because God created it. Women, you ought to take that as a compliment and stop trying to compete with men. Men are created physically for a reason. Let me point this out. Men and women, male and female, are not equal. Equal means the same. We're not the same. We're not the same physically. We're not the same psychologically. We're not the same emotionally. We're not the same. That may sound condescending, but it is not condescending. Because when God created the male and female different, he created them different to complement each other. The man has strengths that the woman does not have. The woman has strengths that the man does not have. The man has weaknesses that the woman does not have. The woman has weaknesses that the man does not have. Where the man is weak at, the woman fulfills. Where the man is strong at, the man fulfills for the woman. You get the point. They complement each other. The purpose is to complement one another, not compete against one another. That was God's original plan and God's original intention from the very beginning. But humans come in, these Marxists and communists and radical people come in and screw up God's creation and cause division, which is what their objective is to begin with, and cause division and unneeded competition. Be proud that you're a woman. Be thankful that you can have a baby. Men can't have a baby. I don't care how babies. I don't care what these radicals say. A man cannot have a baby. You can put on a billboard all day that men can be pregnant. You can put pregnant men on a bill with their stomach sticking out like this. I don't care if his stomach sticking out like a whale. You can put that on all day. It ain't going to happen based on nature. You can create it scientifically. try to, but it ain't going to happen by nature, by God's design, because that's not what God created men for. He created the woman to be able to do that because she's unique in the eyesight of God. She's special in the eyesight of God. The woman is to be loved and adored and cherished by the men. Now, of course, sin corrupted that ideology, that worldview. Sin corrupted that when Adam and Eve disobeyed God. Sin corrupted that plan, but that's the original plan. Men were to use their physical strength to protect the woman, but also to work and get out there and work and do what he needed to do, but also to protect the woman. Women were designed to be loved and cherished and adored, but they also have certain abilities and strengths that complement the men, that come alongside to help the man. So be proud to be a woman. Don't compete against the men. You are special. You somebody simply being a woman. You somebody. Stop letting these radical feminists pump your head full of stupidity. You 6 months pregnant, you're going to go out there and try to, man, come on. That's not women empowerment. That's buffoonery. You're not empowering. To empower means to give someone insight, to give them power, to empower, to place power in someone. You're not placing power in someone psychologically or spiritually, emotionally by pushing and encouraging them to do something that might hurt them. That's not. And so I'm ashamed of James Cameron for falling for this wokey woke radical nonsense. Just make a good movie, bro. Like you did with all your other movies, man. You was pushing feminism, I believe, with Alien, the Alien movie, the second Aliens. I could look at that as a feminist push, but it was powerful. It was great. Men and women loved that. Because Sigourney Weaver wasn't putting men down in it. She wasn't demonizing men. You may have seen a few scenes every now and then where men would try to, be a little sexist. But for the most part, she didn't do that. She was just Ripley. And nobody could touch Ripley. She was a bad woman. She was a bad mamma jamma. And still feminine. Still feminine. She knew she didn't have the physical strength that the men had, but she utilized other strengths, her brain, to be able to accomplish what she needed to accomplish when it came time to fight them aliens. That's true feminism. Okay? Not this, well, if you're 6 months pregnant, I'm going to put you in battle. That's stupid. You should be resting and getting your rest and doing the things that you need to do to make sure that baby is protected. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable, this kind of nonsense these radicals push. But that's what I wanted to say about that. What do you guys think about what James Cameron said? I totally, look, that's his opinion, but his opinion is, as far as I'm concerned, is silly and off basis, and you didn't even need to put that in the movie. You didn't even put it in the movie. What was the point? What was the point other than to push some radical feminist nonsense? What was the point, bro? What do you guys think? Leave your comments in the comment section below. Like, share, and subscribe to my channel. God bless you all, and see you again.